The zero-based budget, how to apply it to improve your finances and ultimately getting out of debt. I have all the details and everything you need to know right here in the video, so let's get right into it. All right, yet again, another budgeting strategy, which is actually really nice because all of us have a very different situation and of course, all of our personalities are very different. Therefore, it's nice to have all these different options because one budgeting strategy that might work really well for one person might not work at all for somebody else. Therefore, in this video, I want to talk about the zero-based budget. I want to talk about how you can apply it to your life, how it's going to improve your finances, and ultimately help you get out of debt and save money at the same time. So let's get into it and discuss all of those details. However, really fast before we do, thank you so much for joining me. If you enjoy this type of content revolving around money, budgeting, saving money, paying down debts, as well as anything else revolving around improving your finances, make sure to hit that subscribe button right down below the video. I'm here for you doing all the research and breaking down all this information into these short videos so you can stay posted with what's going on, and ultimately I want to help you get more money, save more money, and ultimately improve your finances going forward. So again, thanks so much for joining me. Subscribe down below if you haven't done so yet, and let's get into it and discuss how this new strategy again could possibly change your life. Now I hope that this video helps you out quite a bit. If not, I do have many other videos here on the channel talking about budgeting, improving your finances, as well as expanding your income, all kinds of different things like that. And again, like I said just a second ago, maybe this video jives with you. If not, that's okay. Maybe another video here will, and the strategies will be presented to you in one of these videos. Like I said, just because one strategy doesn't work for you, don't give up on this thing. Please continue to stick with this because all you need to do is find the right jam for you and you'll be in the zone and it'll make it super easy, right? One quick side note, think about when you went to college, right? You start studying a topic that you actually enjoy, all of a sudden it got really, really easy. Remember those days? Yeah, same kind of situation, right? So anyway, when you find the one that works well for you, it becomes really easy. You just got to find the right one. Anyway, let's talk about the zero-based budget and what this one actually means. Now, if you watched any of my other videos talking about budgeting, I'm going to say it again in this one, not to be repetitive, but I do want to say it in this video as well, just because this is such a key factor when it comes down to budgeting and ultimately improving your finances. It comes down to a couple different factors, and then of course I'll get into more details specific to the zero-based budget, which is, number one, you need to know how much money you earn on a monthly basis. Now again, it could be earnings from a job, it could be dividend payments, it could be annuities, it could be child support, it could be rental income. It does not matter what the income is. Whatever kind of money you have coming into you as income throughout the course of a month, we're going to use months at a time because that's the easiest way to break it down. Whatever income you have coming in, you need to know how much that is. Now, typically this isn't all that hard to do because most people have a pretty good grip on how much money they're earning, right? Wherever that income is coming from, most people have a pretty good idea. Maybe they're off by $100, $200, something like this, $50. But for the most part, most people are within a pretty good range of how much they earn on a monthly basis, or what their income is, I should say. However, here's the problem. The vast majority of people do not know what their monthly expenses are. And that's what I want to hammer home again one more time right here in this video. You need to know what your expenses are. And unfortunately, this is the problem that most people have, is they have no clue. The money comes in and then it goes out and they know how much money came in, but yet they have no clue where the money actually went to when they spent it, okay? That is so important to any type of budget. I don't care the type of budget you're doing. It could be any of these budgets we've talked about here on the channel. It could be any of them. It doesn't matter. If you do not know your expenses, it's not going to work, okay? You've got to know your expenses for every single type of budget. To improve your finances, you need to know, you got to monitor it. You got to know where that money is going, okay? So let me encourage you one more time. I know it's not fun. Been there, done that. In fact, I still currently do this with my own personal life. I still track this stuff very, very closely. Do I enjoy it? No, but it does give me a very clear picture of where my money goes, right? And you got to understand this. In order to change something, you got to track it, right? So just like a diet, if you wanted to go in and, improve your diet or your eating, things like this, number one, you got to track it, right? If you were to go to a dietitian, the first thing they would say is, what are you eating? And if you come back and say, I don't know, I'm just eating, well, they're going to say, okay, well, first off, we need to start tracking. It's the exact same thing when it comes to your finances. So hope that kind of gives you a little bit of relativity when it comes to your finances here. All right, so those are the first two steps. Again, if you haven't started doing this, start doing it now. Or if you can go back into history, look at your bank statements, look at your credit cards, your debit cards, all kinds of things like this, and figure out how much money you've been spending here and categorize all of that, you're going to be way better off. But if you cannot get files, access to that money, as in how much money you've spent so far, start right now. That's okay. You can start right now. Not a problem. But don't start tomorrow. Start right now, today, okay? All right, so now that I've made that very, very clear, if you're still sticking with me, I hope you are, because now we're getting into the good stuff here. Now, here's what it comes down to for the zero-based budget. Now that you know what your income is and your expenses are, you basically want to zero out your income every single month. Now, does this mean I'm giving you a free license to go out on a shopping spree? No, please do not do that, okay? That goes completely against the grain here from what we're trying to talk about and what we're trying to achieve with a zero-based budget. It does not mean that you have an extra $500 this month. That means you should hit up the mall and go buy the latest, greatest purse, shoes, whatever else, sports memorabilia, whatever it happens to be. No, we should not be doing that stuff, okay? There is a time for that, but it's not right now, okay? There will be a time for that. I can assure you that. But just please don't let it be right now. All right, so what you got to do is you got to figure out how much your income is, your expenses are, and then we zero out your income. So here's what it comes down to. Again, I am not suggesting that you go out and empty out your bank account. Nope, I'm not saying that you should do that either. In fact, you should have some money reserved in a bank account, preferably a few $1,000s. If you can't do a few $1,000s, at least as much as you can, $1,000, $500, $2,000, $3,000, something like this, at least a few $1,000s if you can. Otherwise, as much as you can set aside. But I would say probably no more than maybe 2 or 3 months of your living expenses. And again, we've talked about that in a separate video. But here's what it comes down to. Any additional money. So let's just say, for example, you have an income on a monthly basis of $1,000. And again, I'm just giving this as an example to use some easy round numbers here. Let's just say that your income is $1,000 on a monthly basis. Let's just say that your rent or mortgage is $400. Again, that'd be a very low rent or mortgage, but let's just say for this example, it's $400. Now you're left with $600. Let's just say between all the other things out there that you need to buy, the necessities, you have your utilities, your maybe gas or electric, you have gas in your car, insurance on your car, you have food, you have your cell phone bill, and maybe a couple other little necessities. And again, necessities do not include going out to buy a $6 coffee 5 days a week. That's not a necessity, okay? So let's just say that your necessities add up to another $400 per month. So you have $400 going into your rent or your mortgage, whatever it is, and you have another $400 going to all the necessities in a month. Well, that would leave you with an extra $200 on a monthly basis. Here's what the whole idea is behind the zero-based strategy, the zero-based budgeting strategy. Now you take that extra $200 and you apply it toward something else in your expense column, as in maybe debts that you may have. Maybe it's an auto loan. Maybe it's student loans. Maybe it's credit cards. Maybe it's a mortgage. Maybe it is some kind of outstanding debts. You take that extra $200 and you zero it out against other debts that you may have. And again, I am not suggesting that you go out and empty out your bank account. I would not say that. In fact, that is not a very smart idea. You should keep some money around, at least a couple months worth of living expenses. But the idea behind this is zeroing out your income, which is why it's called the zero-based budget, right? You just take your income, your expenses, you spend all the money that you need on your expenses, things like that, your necessities, and then anything that is left over, you zero it out against your debts. And the whole idea behind this is to just focus on one of your debts. Primarily, you start with the lowest debt that you have. Let's just say that you have 3 different accounts that have debts on them. One account has $5,000 of debt, another one has, say, $2,000, and the next one has, say, $800. You would go at it and you would attack the $800 debt. You just go at it, attack. Over 4 months, boom, it's gone. There it is. Wow, the $800 just dissolved because you took that extra $200 every single month and you continue to go after that $800 debt. After 4 months, it's totally gone. Now what do you do next? Do you go out and party? Well, I guess you could celebrate a little bit, but I wouldn't suggest going all off the wall and getting too crazy with it, right? But here's what I would suggest. Now going forward, take that extra $200 that you're going to have and now apply it to the next debt. Remember, the next debt that I was talking about in this example was, say, $2,000. Now you're going to go at it for 10 months straight. You're going to continue to bang away at this next debt, $200 a month, $200 for 10 months straight, and then boom, there you go. That next $2,000 debt is gone. Not bad, right? You're paying down these debts. So that's the whole idea behind this zero-based budgeting strategy. Just basically zeroing out your income. And again, it does not mean going out and spending it at the mall or going out and buying a bunch of things you don't need. I'm not suggesting that at all. Because here's the thing. Now you might be wondering, how is this going to improve my finances? And how is this going to allow me to save more money? Here's what it's going to do. When you zero out your income like this and you continue to bang away at your debts like that, eventually your debts will disappear, just like in that example I just gave you. Well, guess what happens when all of your debts are gone? Your consumer debts are gone. Now, again, I would not suggest attacking your mortgage because you can focus on that later. Realistically, most people that have a mortgage, it's probably $100,000, $150,000, $200,000, $300,000, $400,000. It's probably hundreds of thousands of dollars. It's going to take you a very long time. So focus on the small consumer debts first, like credit cards, auto loans, maybe lines of credit, personal loans, little things like this that you have that you can continue to pay off in a matter of just a few months' time. With just a couple $100s a month, you can get all these little consumer debts paid off, which, by the way, these little consumer debt balances are the ones that hold the highest interest rates as well. 20%, 19.5%, 30% interest. Yeah, you got to get rid of those. Whereas typically a mortgage is usually around 3, maybe 4, maybe 5, maybe 6% at the absolute most in most cases. That's not that bad, right? And again, we're usually dealing with much more significant numbers. So attack those consumer debts first. And then what happens is all of a sudden your consumer debts float away, they're gone. And then it's like, wait, I just paid down all my debts and now I have all this extra money because my debts are gone. I'm not trying to service these things all the time anymore. And therefore, what do I do now? Well, now you have improved your financial situation, you've improved your finances, and now you're in the mode of saving and stacking more money to ultimately do what's next is whether you can pay for something else that's very expensive and or you can start attacking your mortgage next, right? Again, that's all a little bit more advanced. We can talk about that in a separate video, but I wanted to talk about the basics right here on this video in regards to the zero-based budgeting strategy and, of course, how you can implement this right away to improve your finances and ultimately pay down some of your debts and kind of reverse the whole tide when it comes to kind of stacking up debts and things like that. I know it can be very difficult to turn that ship around, right? When you're on one trajectory and you're moving one direction, it's really hard to slow that thing down and ultimately reverse it and start heading the opposite direction. But the zero-based budgeting strategy can help you do that. So again, maybe this one works for you and maybe not. If it doesn't work for you, that's totally fine. Not a problem at all. There's a ton of other budgeting strategies. And again, I've talked about some of them here on the channel. And of course, I'll continue to bring you more videos like this in upcoming videos. And hopefully we can find that perfect one. If this one is not perfect for you, hopefully we can find that perfect one that will fit for you as well. And, hopefully you can jump on that one and ultimately turn around your finances. Anyway, if you're also wondering too, this zero-based budgeting strategy is also what Dave Ramsey talks about. If you've ever listened to Dave Ramsey, he's this, money finance, cut up your credit card and pay down all your debts kind of guy, which by the way, I've followed him for many, many years now. I've learned a lot from him. But the fact of the matter is this is one of the budgeting strategies that he talks about is basically developing a strategy where you just zero out all your money, right? All your money has an allocated purpose. All of your money is allocated for something, and every single month it's just zeroed out. So it has a purpose. It does not have an undefined purpose, which is shopping sprees. Nope. It has a defined purpose, as in it's going for necessities or it's going to pay down debts. So anyway, hope this one helps you out. Again, this is the zero-based budgeting strategy. As I do get more details on any other strategies out there, of course, I'll be right here for you, breaking it all down, letting you know what's going on. And of course, if this one is not perfect for you, that's totally okay. Please do not feel bad about it. It does not work for everybody. But there are many other strategies out there, which again, I will be sharing with you in future videos here. So make sure to hit that subscribe button down below so you don't miss any videos going forward. And ultimately, I want to do what I can to help you improve your finances, especially right now know, with this rapidly rising inflation and everything going on, it's getting more tight for everybody. Money is very tight for the vast majority of people. So if there's anything I can do to help you out, please make sure to subscribe down below so you don't miss those videos. Leave your comments and feedback down below, as well as your questions. And of course, go back and check out some of the other thousands of videos right here on the channel. Thanks again. Enjoy your day. I'll catch you again later in the next video, and have a good